Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about the Transformers Power of the Primes Leader Class Evolution Optimus Prime. And he's going to be the focus, along with his smaller robot Orion Pax, in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host as always, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor. Spend some time on the channel, check me out everywhere. Let the world know about me, folks. Anyway, we are going to talk about this guy. I was actually kind of excited to get this guy, and I thought that perhaps he could be a bit of a stand-in, since I didn't actually get the full Magnus Prime or Ginrai. I thought that maybe because this guy actually has a smaller robot, he could be a stand-in for that. I don't know if that's going to work, and I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this guy. I'll kind of explain everything as we go through, but let's start off by taking him out of it and looking very quickly here at the box. It's a box, beautiful, beautiful artwork down here of Optimus Prime. On this side we have Orion Pax, which I think is kind of cool. Nothing really on this side except for the symbols. They are the 12 symbols of the different primes. Word is that the 13th is Optimus, so he don't get a symbol. He does have a clear opening on top. I don't really know why that would be. You know, here's the product shots, and you know what I guess the trailer armor, the bigger body looks like without the smaller robot in it. Of course, we can see here the entire trailer, just the truck. We can see how in the matrix over here, maybe you can't see that. In the matrix over there, we can see how different Prime Masters can go in it. We'll cover all of that shortly. Now that we have this done, let's do the next most popular thing. This is the collector card. Nice picture on the front there of Optimus. Same artwork as on the box. We have a symbol up in the corner. Of course, there's 12 of these. And it seems like it's pretty random where they, you know, where they appear. We have Optimus Micronus, and it basically allows him to power link to share the wisdom of the primes. Okay, I kind of thought that's what the Matrix of Leadership did. But what do I know? He also comes with this beautifully molded blaster. I love it. It is so G1 Optimus Prime-esque. Now it does have a couple of 5mm ports or pegs. I'm holding on to one. There's another one here because this can actually come apart and become two smaller, I guess, blasters. I think that this is supposed to be able to be done for use with Orion Pax. But there it is together. It looks absolutely fantastic. I know it's a basic black, but that's all it really needs when we're talking about Optimus Prime. And here is perhaps the most important of the accessories that this guy comes with. It is, of course, the Matrix of Leadership, and it looks fantastic. It's a gray plastic, and we have light piping in the eye, I guess, in the core. The whole thing is painted orange, and I think it's beautiful. I don't know if it's clear blue plastic painted orange or what. It's on thick, but it looks fantastic. Of course, you take the core out of the Matrix if you are so inclined, and I guess you could use it as like a Titan Master, Prime Master, but if we pop it out, we're just left with this. And this, for example, you can put Micronus in there, and now he has the Matrix of Micronus, I guess? Naturally, this can incorporate with the figure, and we're going to see that right now. And here we have the big boss bot himself, Optimus Prime. I said we were going to see the Matrix and how it incorporates now. Before we do that, I just wanted to show that he can, in fact, hold his blaster just fine, no problem. And if you're so inclined, because there are pegs here on the side, you can actually take it and put it on the side. So now he has a very Megatron-esque type of arm cannon thing. I think that that's really cool. The head sculpt, the general sculpting here is gorgeous for looking like Optimus Prime. Granted, that being said, we have a lot of gray on the side because we have the truck folded up around the legs, we have the truck folded up on the arms. It would have been nice if this hinge was gray and around the top here gray, or red, I mean. I've also considered, if I was to use this guy's version of Ginrai, I may drill little 5mm holes in here so that the kind of arm, shoulder blasters from the Power Master Prime mold could be used here. Naturally, if I did that, I would have to realize that I am going to limit his articulation. So who knows, I may not do that. Around the back, yes, we have kibble, and a lot of people don't like the legs of Orion Pax being up there. I really don't mind it because I kind of think it's supposed to mimic his like thruster pack that gave him the ability to actually fly. So I'm not that harsh on it. They don't really seem to peg in, but they're not really going anywhere either. Like, they're still fairly solid. So when you fold this up, you put that little blue tab right in there, and you put this little blue tab right in the other side, and now the legs are in fact secure. Okay, sorry for for doing this. Let's get back to the show. It would have been nice if his fists were blue. And again, if I do plan to use this guy as a version of Ginrai, they will be blue. I will do that custom paint. We'll see what happens. I think that the red on his arms is painted on over gray plastic. I do believe. Either way, he looks great. Nice head sculpt, brilliant blue eyes. Just all around, the guy looks pretty stellar. In terms of the Matrix, well, you can try and put it in this mode. I'm going to attempt it for you now. We will see just how this goes. You can open up, if I can do it. There. You can open out that piece and open out that piece. Then you can open up in here. There's a little on the grill in there, there's a little tab that makes opening in there easier. You can open that up. Then with the little square facing up, you can attempt, oh, I just dropped it there. You can attempt to put this in now. It is undoubtedly easier to do this, well, A, when you're looking at it, but B, when you are dealing with just the small robot. There, I got it in. Who knew? And you can close that up. But I mean, you can access the Matrix there, no problem. I think that's so very, very cool. So, in terms of paint apps, what do we give the guy? Honestly, and by the way, it's a great looking Orion Pax. Absolutely great looking. I gotta give the paint apps, it's no mistaking it's Optimus Prime. He even has the correct yellow detail and the silver detail down here. The stickers are even applied respectably well. I'm gonna give it a solid 9. It's not perfect. There is a lot of gray, but from the front, it certainly looks like him. The chest opens. A lot of comparisons have been made with MP10. You know, think of that what you will. Here he is, you know, next to a Titan's Return Deluxe, that being Hardhead. And just for fun, here he is next to Metal Hawk. And here he is next to a leader class that most people know, that being, Overlord. And you can see that, like, you know, he scales fine for a leader. He scales well. It's weird because Optimus actually, to me, feels like he is a little bit bigger. So, again, think of that what you will. Okay, so paint depths, we have a solid 9. Let's go into the articulation for this guy. I'm not going to score it yet because we're going to talk about it a little bit more when we do the smaller figure. So, that being said, in this mode we have a head that goes left and it goes right. It doesn't really look up. It can look down a little bit. The shoulders go all the way around, quite nice. They go out all the way. That's fantastic. Nice bicep swivel. We have an elbow over 90 degrees, not a lot, but over 90 degrees, maybe 95 degrees, something like that. At the waist, nothing at the waist. That's a shame. The legs can go back quite far, but can only come forward that far. It's kind of a similar sort of leg complaint that I had with the last night Optimus Prime, except with him it was the knees. With this guy, it's the leg's ability to kick out, not great. Of course, that being said, the knee bends a little bit like that. That's for transformation, but it does it. We do have a bit of a thigh swivel. It is not unlimited because it's sort of a swivel built inside the molded thigh. So it's not unlimited. We have a knee to a little over 90 degrees. That looks fantastic. And we do have very deep ankle tilt, which does help a lot with stability and dynamic posing. The feet can also go forward and go down. The ankles are a little bit loose, but nothing worth complaining about at all. Okay, so great articulation here except for the lack of a waist and the kind of limitation with his legs. So let's get the smaller robot out and lay the kind of big body aside so that we can finish off the articulation. By the way, in vehicle mode he does roll like a champ, and I should mention this, because of transformation we technically have a butterfly joint here for getting across his body. So a couple of unintentional pieces of articulation. All right, now to take this out, you do not just pull it out. Everybody probably knows by now there's a little blue button down right here. You pull that down and then you push this out. And he comes out and we're left with, well, this disturbing looking sight. But again, we're not going to worry too much about that right now because we're going to take him off screen, we're going to bring in the chunk and see what to do with that. Okay, so now we have this little chunk here of robot torso and head, and this is what it looks like when you first take it out. We're going to go to robot mode. I'm going to show a couple of kind of fan things that I've seen, and then we're going to go to truck mode. That's probably the easiest thing to do, and this guy's not hard to transform. We will bring down the legs and bring out, I'll show this now before we pan back, bring out his feet. And then with the legs down, you will swivel them around and swivel them around. And that is the lower body done, finished, complete. Okay, let's kind of pan back here a bit so we can see the rest of this. So this is what we have now. All right, so this gets easy. We bring down the arm, and we bring down the arm, and you fold out the fist. There's a nice little tab there too for you to hold on to fold out that fist. So I think that's pretty fantastic. Now, at this point, you have a couple of options. One, some people want a smaller Optimus figure and they turn the head around like that. Yes, the proportions are definitely off. This head is a little bit too big for the body, but hey, it's an option, I guess, if you want it to be. So what else can we do with the guy? Well, you could turn the head around, turn him this way, swivel the leg around, and the arms will actually bend this way. You would probably have to change the fists, and it kind of looks like, what was it, Cybertron Optimus with that big chest, that tubby kind of torso, but that is also another option. You can. I wouldn't advise it, but you can. All right, enough fooling around. Let's finish the official look for this dude. The arms are down. You open out the chest. You fold the Optimus head in while folding out the Orion Pax head. You bring it up, you bring Orion Pax's head down, and of course we need to turn these legs back around again. But boom, in the end, there you go, Orion Pax, and I think he looks great. Now, it has been said that, oh, this is a deluxe. I don't particularly think so. Here's a deluxe. Again, using Hardhead, he's much larger than Hardhead. For a different comparison, here's something random for a different comparison. How about an old one that a lot of people forget about? Here he is next to the Generations Thrilling 30 Blitzwing, and I mean, he's pretty much the size of Blitzwing there. I can tell you, he's just a touch shorter than Titan's Return Blitzwing. He's about the same size as Octone, honestly, who is a bit of a smaller Voyager. So I would not call this guy deluxe. He's either a large deluxe or he's a small Voyager. I would venture to say, though I haven't actually looked at it, he's probably around the height of, as I said, Octone or maybe Roadbuster. So now that we've done all the comparisons, let's look at articulation on this guy. So we have a head that can go left and right. It can look up a little bit. It can look down a little bit. We have shoulders that can go all the way around, I believe on a ball joint. We have, again, a butterfly that comes out because of transformation. We have a very deep elbow. I mean, he can put his hand all the way up. The wrists do not swivel, but they can bend back a bit if that's any good to you. Nothing at the waist. The arms can go out to the side about that far. Not stellar, but you know, it could be worse, I guess. The legs, forward all the way, back not at all. Ratcheted knee to 90 degrees, thigh swivel, and the toes can tilt up and down. Of course, the hip skirts here, they can move to accommodate, you know, that forward movement. So, actually, you know what? That's a whole red piece around it. That's not a hip skirt at all. That's a whole red piece molded around the joint, which I guess is why I can't go back very well. That being said, I find that because he has such a huge backpack, he is kind of top heavy and does not particularly like to do things such as stand up. In terms of the blasters, he of course can hold Optimus's, or he can hold that one just fine, or the other one just fine. They don't go down super far though. Like, it's like the ports on his hands are just a micrometer or two off of the mark. Okay, so if I can get this guy to stand, we'll score the articulation. Weird trying to find the center of gravity for him. He looks fantastic. Like I said, the paint apps overall are solid 8.75 when you account for this guy and the full Optimus figure. Even the truck, I can see, they certainly did the best they could. 8.75. The articulation for both of them, well, neither has a waist. This guy has a big backpack that doesn't bother me, but it does hurt his ability to stand solidly. And Optimus has, of course, the leg issue. I'm going to say the articulation is all right. Those things nag me a little bit. It's about 7.5, I would say. So, right now, you know, we're scoring about 8.35. Not too bad. We've seen a bit of the transformation already. It was easy to get to this. All you had to do was put the legs down, spin them around, bring the arms down, put the Optimus head away, and take the Orion head out. There's your basic steps for getting to this mode. Not hard. Let's look at getting to the truck cab mode. First, you're going to want to straighten up the legs, and you flip in the toes, and you turn the legs such that you have the tires on the outside. Now, there's a blue tab over here and a slot over here. You could tab them together, but I would not advise it because they are meant to slide down one over the other, and this is a solid connection now. It's not coming apart. We straighten him up like this, and you can sort of see where this is headed already, I am sure of it. Okay, next step. Bring up the arm and put the fist in. Bring up the arm here and put the fist in. You want to take these arms and flip them around, but as you do so, you're going to use the bicep swivel, which I don't think I mentioned in articulation, but he does have a fabulous bicep swivel, and swivel these arms to the outside. The shoulders, they don't come together yet. The shoulders will come together after you bring down the chest and the Orion Pax head. You have to make sure to bring down the Orion Pax head because this head is going to be where the trailer will plug into. Now that you have the chest down and the head down, you can continue bringing in the arms. And of course, they come together in like that. Some people leave these forearms up. Some people put them down because they say that having them up kind of elongates the cab. That's your call. What you do there, that is totally your call. Now, this kind of don't really look like a full truck yet, but we are getting there. Be patient. We come to the front and we open out this and we open out this. There are blue hinges here. We're going to bring this down on the blue hinge and flip that piece down. There's the side of your truck. And we bring it back on the blue hinge, we bring it forward, we bring it in the tabs, and then this piece down here tabs onto a tab on the blue here. There's a little hole right here that tabs onto the blue, and that's what holds it in place. There is your side done. I'll show it over here again. So we opened out that chest piece. This was the chest of Optimus. We flip this down. We bring the blue hinge all the way back, bring it forward and in, and tab that truck piece on. And boom, in the end, here you have Orion Pax in his truck mode. He rolls like a champion. You can see the matrix up front here if you want. Now you could open it and access it very easily. Put it back in there very easily. That is definitely how you want to approach it. I just did it the other way because I wanted to see if I could. But he rolls great. This is a good looking truck from the front. I even like that the window is painted on the side. Like, I dig all that. I understand what people are saying. It's kind of long there on top. Like, the cab itself is long. I don't know if, I guess it's your call. I don't know if bringing the arms down there helps. That looks less like a natural truck to me. I don't think the arms compress well at all, even a little bit, but the transformation is easy. And everything is pretty smooth with it, to be honest with you. So, we have this part done. We're going to lay it aside. This part of the transformation, easy. We're going to lay this aside. We're going to get the trailer done now, and then we'll put both of them together so that we have a full Optimus Prime, because technically this is Orion Pax. Okay, so we have technically half of Optimus done. Let's do the other half now. Easy stuff first. Fold down that false and that false smokestack, and there's a little blue peg in here that will come out because that's going to be the trailer hitch. A lot of this guy's a panel former, to be honest with you. Bring these up, and now you want to, actually, I guess before you bring those up, so you can actually see it in screen here, we want to unfold the panels here on the arm. So we unfold that panel up on the side, and then this one over on the back, which is really tight, like I feel like I'm going to break it tight, but you won't. Press it, push it and it will come. It's just, it's really tight. Over here, we bring that down. That one, not quite as tight, but still pretty strong. So there you go. We have these panels out. I do this for orientation. These are not necessarily going to stay out like this. We're going to move them a bit because there's kind of a bit of an order that you want to put them in. Next, we bring the arms up over and bring them all the way down. So we take the shoulder, we bring it up over, and then we bring the entire arm down. So now the arms are basically backwards. Like, here's the back of the arm, which is very hollow, by the way. Here's the fist. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Now, to help stability, oddly, the weapon storage does a really good job of that. You have, on the blaster, you have a little circle here or a little circle up here. I think you can use either of them, to be honest with you. I've been using the lower one. And that will go on over this tab on his arm. So we begin to fold this in. And we begin to fold this side in. And we want to take his blaster, basically, and we're going to sandwich it on one side, sandwich it on the other side, and bring the arms together. Then you want to flip out these little panels. Now, half of the trailer is done. It is a bit of a pain to get here. You want to try and have things lined up as best as you can, but it's a bit of a nuisance to get here. Okay, nevertheless, we've got that much done. So it seems. Give all that a squeeze. There. We've got that much, pardon me, done. Now we need to come to the lower legs. I find that it's kind of easiest for now to just sort of let the feet be free flowing and not get in the way. We come and we unfold the leg, basically, and we unfold the leg. By the way, when you close up the leg, there's a little tab right here. It goes into a little slot in there. This whole thing is going to flip up on the side. Get those feet out of the way. But before we flip it up on the side, I wanted to show you something. I mentioned earlier how his knee bends sort of backwards. Well, what you want to do before you flip those sides up is bring the legs down and then angle up the knees. So you have the legs kind of brought back and then angled up so they're straight. You can even go ahead and peg the legs together and have that done. Then continue to bring this up on the side and continue to bring that up on the side. Open out that panel and this panel. These are going to fold down and be the top of the truck. A couple of ingenious things here though done to help you, even though this guy is a panel former. And I'll show them as we kind of get to them. So we fold this piece down and we fold that piece down, and now these two will tab together, as you would probably expect. Now, we want to close up the rest here. So you close up that little panel and you can reach inside and kind of help you with closing that up. When you close it up, you actually have a little rectangular tab here that goes into a little hole right there. Done. And same over here. That little rectangular tab goes into the little hole there. My top came undone. That's going to happen with this guy. There, we've got that much done, and now we got two panels left. This one and this one. Before I close them, I want to point out that there's a little rectangular tab up here. I thought that that had to go up underneath. It does not. There's one here that it's put there so when you go to transform this back, you can start right there by bringing this panel out first. It's a spot for your finger to catch it. How do I know this? Because what we do have is a rectangular tab here that goes into a rectangular slot up here. So you bring this one around and bring this one around, and they should go on over those rectangular slots, just like that, and tab in, no problem. I've heard a lot of people complaining about these stickers, saying that this one up here in particular was applied upside down and inside out and everything else. I don't have that on either side. My stickers are fine. Actually, I don't even find they're coming off. I find the stickers all right on this guy. It might be a little low on the trailer for my liking. I would like them to be higher. The Second Chance trailer, I looked at that a while ago. I still think that that's probably the best one. Anyway, on with this guy. We bring up those feet and bring it in and bring it in. And they will just tab in very nicely. You can still open them up if you are so inclined and want to do just that. In the end, boom, here is Optimus's trailer. The only problem is there's nothing to hold it up. There's no hitch or anything that comes down. Here's how it looks underneath with those legs bent out and down. Here's the main body. Here's that little latch. This is a little bit smaller. Certainly shorter to the ground than the, say, Ultra Magnus or Power Master Optimus Prime. Okay, that being said, let's get this guy together, shall we? And this actually isn't too bad for a panel former. I think it's the most successful panel former we've ever had, because everything does actually tab in, and when we want to transform this guy back, we know exactly where to start, right here with this little edge. You put your finger in there, pop that first panel, pop that other one that's across from it, and the rest of this will be able to come apart. It folds up nicely, and everything tabs in nicely. Okay, so the back of Orion's head has a little loop. That little loop in Orion's head is where the blue peg goes into, and boom. In the end, there we have Optimus Prime. I like this vehicle mode. I think it's fairly successful. That being said, I do feel like there's a big gap here between the trailer and the truck bed. Maybe the legs were a little long. The cab is long, but I feel like you need it for the truck. I wish that the trailer was higher, because I feel like a trailer should be, you know, kind of significantly higher than the cab. I don't think it's quite tall enough for that. The weapon storage is alright. It's okay. He does roll like a champion. Absolutely fantastic. We are missing silver down on the tires. Kind of par for the course by now. But he rolls fantastically well. We have the turn side to side thanks to the way the connection is accomplished. All in all, I like it and I like the transformation. So we had a overall score of 8.35 going on. The transformation is not that hard. Things tab pretty well. There's one panel on the arm that I need to use a bit of excessive force for in order to open it out fully, but I think that that's just my version of the mold. I would say the transformation is a solid, it's interesting, there's so many options to it. I would say that the transformation is a solid 9. Overall, this guy is a solid 8.75, maybe even an 8.95. It's a good Optimus Prime figure. Is it perfect? No. If you get it, realize that there are certain limitations with how far Optimus's legs can kick forward. Realize that neither he nor Orion Pax have waists. And realize that maybe the truck mode is a little bit stylized. If you can look past those things, he's a solid figure. He looks imposing. He would look great on a shelf. He has presence. And he's fun. I don't know if he's for everyone, but he's fun. Anyway, folks, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for giving me some of your very valuable time. And you know that I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the videos.